Get in quickly, please. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another toy review. I know, it's been so long since I've done one of these. And today I'm going to be reviewing a very rare toy. It's the talking Knapford Station playset from the Take Along Thomas & Friends range. This one comes with a special ID edition of Thomas. As you can see, it has the ID symbol on the bottom and golden magnets on both the front and the back. And now, let's see how it works.
Thomas needs to take passengers to the carnival.
Wow! That must be a really exciting job for Thomas. I bet he can't wait to get started.
Thomas is a really useful engine.
Of course he is a really useful engine. He's our favourite friend. Oh yeah, as I forgot to mention, this set says lots of different phrases. And moving on.
Thomas is now arriving at Knapford Station.
We can see that.
Thomas is a cheeky little engine.
Of course he is. He loves to play tricks on the other engines, particularly Big Blue Gordon.
Thomas is a really useful engine.
Wow.
Thomas is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Didn't he already arrive seconds ago?
Sir Topham needs Thomas to pick up a special passenger from Great Waterton.
Wow. You better get to Great Waterton right away, Thomas. You don't want to keep the special passenger waiting.
Thomas is the #1 engine.
Of course he is. Next up, we have Sir Handel. Oddly enough, this is standard gauge track, yet Sir Handel is a narrow gauge engine. But he still works.
There's a lot of work for Sir Handel to do today.
Wow, I bet he's going to be one busy engine.
Sir Handel will get a shiny new coat of blue paint today.
Wow, isn't he a lucky little engine, getting a fresh coat of blue paint. I bet he can't wait.
There's a lot of work for Sir Handel to do today.
Indeed there is.
Sir Handel is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Of course he is.
Sir Handel will get a shiny new coat of blue paint today.
You better get going.
Sir Handel is a really useful engine.
Yes, of course Sir Handel is a really useful engine, although sometimes he tends to be the opposite. Obviously, causing confusion and delay. Next up we have Gordon.
The special cargo needs to be picked up from the smelting yard.
Wow.
Gordon is the #4 engine.
Of course he's #4. Says it on his tender.
There's a lot of work for Gordon to do today.
Indeed there is.
Gordon needs to take passengers to Sodor Airport.
Wow. That must be a really important job for an important engine like Gordon. You don't want to keep the passengers waiting.
Gordon is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Indeed he is.
Gordon is a blue engine.
Of course he is.
Gordon is a very proud engine.
Indeed he is. They don't call him big and proud for nothing. And next up we have another engine who's #4, but a different colour and a different gauge, obviously. It's Peter Sam.
Peter Sam will get a shiny new coat of green paint today.
Wow! The narrow gauge engine seemed to be getting new coats of paint, Sir Handel blue and Peter Sam green. I bet Peter Sam's going to feel like a whole new engine with that new green paint.
Peter Sam is a really useful engine.
Indeed he is. Because he's friends with all the engines. And willing to help out a friend in need. Peter Sam's going to be really busy, like with all the other engines.
Welcome to Knapford Station.
And next up we have number 5, James.
Sir Topham Hatt needs help with a very important job.
Ooh, you better get going.
James is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Indeed he is.
James will get a shiny new coat of red paint today.
Wow! Isn't James lucky to get a new coat of red paint? I bet he's thinking it's going to make him look even more splendid.
James is a red engine.
Of course he is. He's not only a red engine, but the brightest red engine on Sodor. Mind his paintwork.
Sir Topham Hatt needs James to pick up a special passenger from Brendam Docks.
Wow! That must be a very special. You don't want to let Sir Topham Hatt down, do you, James?
James needs to take passengers to the carnival.
Wow! That must be a really exciting job. You better get going to the carnival.
James is a really useful engine.
Of course he's really useful, although he can be vain. Next up is little Percy.
Percy is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Indeed he is.
Percy is a happy little engine.
Of course he is. He's also even cheekier than his best buddy Thomas. He likes to play tricks and tease the other engines, although it usually lands him into lots of trouble.
Percy is a really useful engine.
But despite his cheekiness, he's a cheerful and useful engine.
Percy is now arriving at Knapford Station. Sir Topham Hatt needs Percy to pick up a special passenger from Sodor Airport.
Wow! I bet Percy can't wait to get to work.
Percy is the number 6 engine.
And speaking of number 6, here's another one with the same number as Percy. Duncan.
There's a lot of work for Duncan to do today.
Except Duncan is on standard gauge tracks, even though he's clearly a narrow gauge engine.
Duncan will get a shiny new coat of yellow paint today.
Well, I think he will deserve that new coat of yellow paint if he behaves himself for the rest of the day.
There's a lot of work for Duncan to do today.
You better get going, Duncan.
Duncan is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Indeed he is.
Duncan will get a shiny new coat of yellow paint today.
Indeed he will.
Duncan is a really useful engine.
Are you sure? Because he does like to complain and grumble a lot and cause trouble for the other engines. And next up we have engine number 55, Stepney of the Bluebell Railway.
There's a lot of work for Stepney to do today.
Wow! All the engines seem to be getting a lot of work done. Wow! No wonder why Sodor is busy.
Stepney needs to take passengers to the carnival.
Wow! Stepney's taking passengers to the carnival? That must be a really thrilling job. I bet Stepney can't wait to stay and watch the passengers have fun.
Stepney is now arriving at Knapford Station.
He is.
Stepney will get a shiny new coat of paint today.
Wow! I wonder what colour he'll be. Will he be black or yellow?
Stepney is a really useful engine.
Of course he was. Let's not forget the time that Rusty almost saved him from getting scrapped. What a thoughtful little diesel Rusty is. You better get going to the carnival, Stepney. You don't want to keep the passengers waiting. And next up we have Devious Diesel. Indeed there is. Just as long as he's not being his usual devious self.
Diesel is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Indeed he is.
Diesel will get a shiny new coat of black paint today.
Wow, that must be really exciting for Diesel. I'm pretty sure his old black paint job is peeling off a bit. So I think it's time he went to the paint shop to get a new coat of black paint.
Diesel is a really useful engine.
I don't think he is. He wants all Steamies gone for good and wants to prove to Sir Topham Hatt that Diesels are better than Steamies. He's normally mean to Thomas and all his friends.
Diesel is now arriving at Knapford Station. Diesel likes to cause mischief.
Of course he likes to cause mischief. No wonder why they call him Devious Diesel. Diesel, you better chuff away before anybody catches you causing trouble.
Diesel is a really useful engine.
I don't think he is. And last but not least, here we have little Rosie here.
Rosie is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Of course, and now she's already arrived.
Sir Topham Hatt needs Rosie to pick up a special passenger from Great Waterton.
Wow! She's gonna pick up a special passenger from Great Waterton? What an exciting job!
There's a lot of work for Rosie to do today.
It seems like all the engines are being really busy.
Rosie will get a shiny new coat of paint today.
Wow! Good luck on getting a new coat of paint, Rosie. Oops.
There's a lot of work for Rosie to do today. Rosie is now arriving at Knapford Station.
Now she's arrived.
Rosie will get a shiny new coat of paint today.
That's
Sir
exciting.
Topham Hatt needs Rosie to pick up a special passenger from Brendam Docks.
Now she's going to Brendam Docks.
Rosie needs to take passengers to Sodor Airport.
Now she's going to have to take passengers to Sodor Airport. The jobs seem to be confusing me a bit.
Rosie will get a shiny new coat of paint today. Rosie is a really useful engine.
Of course she's really useful. But she can get into a bit of trouble, like when she follows Thomas everywhere, or when she's being her little cheeky self. And that's all from the ID engines. Now let's look at the station. The doors are you can open and close the doors. And you can take off the track and put the back on. So you can use it like it's a carry case. But just make sure you slide these red things down so it stays shut. And it has a little handle on top, so you can take it everywhere you go. Yeah, but for now, just going to put the track back on. And open this door so the engines can go inside Knapford Station. However, I have noticed something. The ID engines are just like the regular engines, but with golden magnets instead. They're just like the stock standard take-along engines. Thomas, Sir Handel, Peter Sam, Duncan and Stepney.
Thomas is the #1 engine.
Of course he is. It says it on his side tanks. And there are others that actually make sounds, like Gordon, Percy, James, Diesel, and Rosie. When you push the engines along, they'll make chuffing sounds. And pressing the buttons on the steam engines will activate wheeshing and whistling noises. And pushing Diesel's button will sound his horn. Yeah, I kind of prefer the ones that actually make noise because it really brings these characters to life. Yeah.
There's a lot of work for Stepney to do today.
Yeah, I guess there is a lot of work for Stepney. And I really like how you can play with it in any way you like. It's like pure railway roleplay. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you all soon for a toy review in the future. Goodbye! You're all really useful engines.